children, job, you want to have a healthy work-life balance, you need your time with God. He got to get his time too. It's so many things competing for our time. We only have 24 hours in a day. But when you look at the most successful people, we have the same amount of time. What are you doing with yours? What am I doing with mine? We all have the same 24 hours. Right. So we being busy or we being productive, and that's the good part. You need to read that part. You be being busy. Busy people stay broke. Productive people make profits. You like that, huh? What page that's on, girl? Busy people stay broke. Productive people make profits. So I say that because with everything competing for our time. Yeah, chapter 7 is time. Time is of the essence. That's one of my favorite. Page 77, that's one of my favorite chapters. It's in the third part. So, let me backtrack. This book is divided into 3 sections. That's your number 3 again. Living the life, learning the lessons, loving the legacy. So chapter 7, time is of the essence, is in the 3rd section. So time is something that, me and this time thing, time is something that is always fascinated me, but it's also one of those things that as I've gotten older, I've come to develop a deeper appreciation for it and understanding. And I speak about what is time but a unit of measure. We think about and we hear things like, I'm just trying to see where I want to go. We hear cliches like, only time will tell, or this too shall pass, or time heals all wounds. And we're like, okay, time when you lose a loved one. It's just a standard thing, and we know everybody said, this too shall pass. Time heals all wounds. And it does, but there's no amount of time for grieving. Your family member have died 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, and you still, have that. So you can't say what's a good amount of time because everybody's concept of time is different. But I woke up one morning, I probably was just thinking about it one day as I thought about time and how being in relationships in previous years, you want to do or not do certain things after a certain amount of time. So I'm one of those people. Time, we've been talking 2, 3 months. Probably certain tell me you love me because in my mind it hasn't been enough time. But as I've gotten older, you can't put time on time because life is so short. And we know things can happen so quickly. And while we're here today, we can walk out that door and be gone today. So when time came to me like that, I'm like, I may not have as much time as I think. I'm 33 years old and young, but I might not live to 60, 70, 80 or have many years. So I'm like, what am I going to do with the time that I have now? How am I going to live? What type of differences am I going to make? Whose lives am I going to touch? And a perfect example of that for me is Nipsey Hussle. Recently, he was killed and he passed, and as I watched his funeral, very touching and moving. He was 33 years old. And I'm like, wow, he's my age. And I looked at his life and what he's accomplished so far at this time. And I'm like, wow, so much was said about what he did. And I'm like, okay, you 33 years old. What have you done? What can you say? Not to compare, but when you find out what your purpose is and what your passion is, and you want to start working towards those things and using your life in a way that God sees fit to his glory, but it's going to bring, glory to his kingdom, it's like, what contribution am I going to make? What are people going to say about me at my funeral? Besides Hollywood like to have a good time and she wears shades all the time. That's nice, but they need to say more than that. More depth. They need to, have more depth. And this young lady, yeah, she was Hollywood and she loved life, but this is what she did. This is the lives she's touched. This is what she taught us. So, it just kind of made me think about him and Jesus being the same age. That's that 33. I'm like, wow. So if this is going to be my ministry, I wrote this book, I'm a minister in training, what am I going to do with it? I'm not just going to write a book. Yeah, I wrote a book and do away with it. Put it on the shelf. I really want people to get this about relationships. Relationships are so very important, and we need to really understand and embrace it. Family, friends, faith, finances, our children, ourselves, All of these are relationships. We cannot exist in this world without relationships. God did not create us to be like that. He wants us to have relationships that are healthy and meaningful, but he wants to be the ultimate relationship. I can't love you if I can't love myself. And if I don't love God, because he has given us the perfect example of love. It's right there in a book, and all we need to do is read and apply the principles that he already set forth. You don't need to look any further. Anywhere else, that's the perfect example. So when we think about the type of lives that we want to lead, all we have to do is think about Jesus and what he did. And lead a life like that. You know, people going to say good things about you. People going to say bad things about you. People going to be on your side. People not going to be on your side. Remember, we preparing for Resurrection Sunday. They was there, Hosanna, Hosanna. A couple of days later, crucify him, the same people. So while you on my side, yeah, my sister, how the girl wrote a book. To Marshall, the girl how wrote a book, she think it's all about her. And people do that. That's life. That's just reality. But you know what? You got the book. You picked it up. You read it. You learned something. Whether you want to admit it or not. You know, that's how we would be with people. Okay, well, she's doing something with her life. So what are you going to do with yours? What are people going to say about you?
What legacy you going to leave?
Yeah, what legacy? In the third section is loving a legacy. So I'm going to leave a legacy that I'm going to love.
Too
For my daughters.
I want to say something
You
silly.
better not.
But
I want to leave a legacy that I'm going to love for my daughter, but not only my daughter, for others, for future generations, because when I'm gone, my legacy is still going to be here with my daughter, with my grandchildren, with my great-grandchildren, with everybody. And that's what I want to do. In this book, live, learn, love with an open heart, because that's the only way to do it. If you want to give and receive the pure, unconditional love of God, your heart has to be open. You can't do it no other type of way.
Your heart has to be pure too.
It has to be. You have to have an open heart and an open mind. And if you don't have that, you can't love me, because I'm not going to receive it. And if I can't receive it, I can't give it. We say it's better to give than to receive. And it's funny, the people that's always receiving are the people that's saying that. But we want to give love and we want to receive love. For God is love. And because we are created in his image and likeness, we too are love. And I speak about being imperfect. You know, no one's perfect. We all have faults, flaws, and failures. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm perfect in God's sight. Because he created me. And everything he created was good. Even the people that make bad choices and do bad, he created them too. And they were good at one point in time. So when I think about that, I'm like, okay, if I'm perfect in God's sight, why should I not see myself as perfect? Of course I have faults, flaws, and failures. But I'm still perfect in his sight. So that's how I need to see myself. I need to embrace these faults and flaws. Because sometimes we beat ourselves up. And you missed that part. You know, we make not so good choices and we beat ourselves up. And we don't forgive ourselves. So I made the bad choice. Yes. I learned a lesson from it. Okay. I'll do better next time. I'll do better now. Okay. I forgive myself. On to the next. I've embraced it. I've accepted it. That's a flaw. Okay. There'll be more. And then there won't be more at the same time. So it's just not to be so hard on ourselves. Because we can be our worst critics sometimes. You know, we never, it's like, it's so much going on. We can't get it right all the time. You know, we try, we love our children. We try to give them everything. You know, we're married, we're single, we're divorced, we're widowed. And we try to do the best that we can. And it's hard sometimes. Life can be hard even when you're trying to do the best and be the best for it and make the right decisions and do everything. It's still not going to be right. And while I'm not saying accept it, let's not beat ourselves up about it. Because I know I do that sometimes. Like, you know what? I'm trying so hard. It just seems like it's just not. But it's going to be just what it's meant to be. And when it's meant to get better, it will. Now, I'm not saying just wait on it to get better. Of course, you know, faith without works is dead. So we have to put some forth the effort and try to. But, okay, we try. Sometimes you have to step back from some things. And some people. You have to know when you have to step back. Like, you know what? Hold up. This is too much. Woosah. I got to take a break from you right now. Because we need it for our peace of mind. Our sanity. I'm talking too much. I won't say.
I'm listening.